It's official. After some recent elite performances by guys at the top of this draft and the way that the rest of this Jets season is shaping out, we can tell exactly what Darren Mougey will be doing in the upcoming NFL draft, specifically with that first pick that the Jets have in the first round, being right now projected to be third overall for the Jets. There's a lot to go over regarding this team and who they plan on selecting, as there have been a ton of reports surrounding the New York Jets and obviously their future, which mostly relies on a future quarterback. We're going to dive into all that, guys, and there is a whole lot to go over discussing that. But also, if you are part of that percentage that is not subscribed to Jets Digest, make sure to go ahead and subscribe if you're part of that 65%. But before we jump into the news today, this video is brought to you by Kalshi. Kalshi is the largest prediction market in the United States, and on their platform, you can trade yes, no on real life events, sports, elections, and really anything. If you're in California, Texas, or anywhere across the United States, Kalshi is live in all 50 states. For sports fans, you can trade on game outcomes, playoff chances, or player performances, all on a regulated market where you can cash out at any time. Right now, with the New York Jets, there is a lot of talk surrounding who is going to be the first overall pick, as the Jets desperately want to add a quarterback onto their team. And the quarterback that everybody likes, Fernando Mendoza, is projected by 66% of traders to be the first overall pick, which will go to the Las Vegas Raiders, meaning the Jets would then look at Dante Moore, who is quickly climbing the ranks right now and is at 29% as we speak. Guys, this is super interesting right now because Moore is climbing up. I will say I fully expect Fernando Mendoza to go first overall and the Jets to end up with Dante Moore. Now, this is a smarter way to use your sports or news knowledge, and you can close positions whenever you want. Now, guys, download Kalshi with the link in the description below and use code DIGESTNFL. That is DIGESTNFL to get $20 off when you trade $100. But let's jump into the news today. As I was just talking about on that Kalshi ad, guys, there has been a ton of talks surrounding that first overall pick in the NFL draft, and the projection is that Fernando Mendoza will be going number one overall. The Raiders will have the first pick unless there's a series of shocking events, which, are not going to happen. The Raiders are ultimately going to end up with the first overall pick in this draft. Tom Brady, who does have some ownership stake in the Raiders, loves Fernando Mendoza. Mendoza's idol growing up was Tom Brady. Mendoza plays shockingly like Tom Brady. So you can see where I'm going with this. Unsurprisingly, PFF in a recent mock draft did very much have Fernando Mendoza going first overall to the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, what PFF mentioned is that Las Vegas resets the quarterback position by selecting Heisman Trophy winner Fernando Mendoza. The 22-year-old enters the college football playoff quarterfinals with an 88.2 PFF passing grade, 7th best in the FBS, alongside 21 big-time throws compared to just 9 turnover-worthy plays. That level of ball security will be welcomed, considering the Raiders' current quarterback, Geno Smith, leads the NFL in interceptions. Now, Mendoza, he's just going to go to the Raiders. There's not really much else to say on this matter. It is as official as it could possibly be without the pick already being in. Mendoza is going to be the first overall pick in the NFL draft by the Las Vegas Raiders, joining Tom Brady's team and also a team that desperately needs a quarterback. And Mendoza is someone who is projected to be a year one starter. This pick makes total sense if you're the Raiders. Now, also on top of the New York Giants, we're projected to take Jordan Tyson, the wide receiver outside of Arizona or out of Arizona State, obviously giving them another huge weapon right next to Malik Neighbors. Now, we're not going to touch on the Giants that much because, first of all, Jordan Tyson doesn't affect the Jets. The Jets are, obviously, they could use another wide receiver, but it's not something they're going to imminently look at. And when we consider everything about the Jets, we know what they want to pick at the top of this draft. They want a quarterback, and PFF fully expects the Jets to take Dante Moore. As mentioned by PFF, the Jets' passing game is in desperate need of improvement, so they need their new franchise quarterback. Oregon's Dante Moore enters the college football playoff quarterfinals with a 91.8 PFF passing grade and 28 big-time throws, both of which place him among the top 3 qualified quarterbacks in the nation. Guys, I have said it before, I will say it again. I have felt like Dante Moore is going to end up with the Jets. I have said I want Dante Moore to end up with the Jets. I'm going to be honest, this is my guy right here. Here's the deal with Dante Moore. He's got a great arm. He can run really well. And honestly, having those two abilities is absolutely huge. Now, somebody else has those two abilities and hasn't worked out in the NFL. That is Justin Fields. However, Moore has already shown a better ability to throw the ball with some anticipation. Out of the three quarterbacks in the top of this draft right now, the one who has the worst anticipation of throwing is without a shadow of a doubt Ty Simpson. So when we look at Moore, he does need some polishing. He's very young. There's been a lot of talk that maybe he doesn't come out of the NFL draft this year, but I expect him to come into the NFL draft because he knows he'll be a top 3 overall pick, and he'll be a year closer to that mega extension as long as he gets it. At the same time, should Dante Moore play in his first year at college or in his first year at the NFL? Probably not. I would love, and I mean love, for the Jets to ultimately draft Dante Moore and then sign Marcus Mariota and basically have another Oregon quarterback who is phenomenal, who could sort of help Moore learn the ropes and get things going. I mean, Mariota and Moore aren't unsimilar players. It's not fair to box them together as the same thing because they're not. But they're not unsimilar players. And honestly, Mariota does give the Jets a game-managing bridge quarterback who is an excellent locker room leader. He would help the Jets out a ton and be their starting quarterback until Dante Moore is ready, whether that would be some point in the 2026 season or they give Moore the whole year behind Mariota. Obviously, is Marcus Mariota going to save everything for the Jets? Absolutely not. But at the same time, he gives him a reliable arm who knows how to play football and overall would be an excellent developmental veteran for just the entire Jets team, but specifically Dante Moore. Now, obviously, there is a lot to think about here, including the fact that Fernando Mendoza obviously is the top prize. Mendoza, who threw 36 touchdowns this season, has been phenomenal with only 6 interceptions to his name, had 3,172 yards, has had a second excellent season after transferring over from Kyle. He's been amazing at Indiana and looks like a very likely college national champion, honestly, man. If we're being real, right now, Indiana looks unstoppable. They routed Alabama. It was brutal. 38-3 was never a shadow of a doubt what was going to happen. Indiana went in there and absolutely ransacked them. Indiana looked incredible, and Fernando Mendoza was the guy behind it all. Now, on top of that, Mendoza was blitzed a season-high 12 times, and he kept his composure, went 8 for 8 with 161 yards and 3 touchdowns against 5 or more pass rushers. The first quarterback with 3 pass touchdowns versus the Alabama blitz since Texas A&M's Johnny Manziel in 2013. Now, obviously, Manziel didn't work out, but at the same time, Mendoza and Manziel are very different personalities, and part of the reason Manziel didn't work out was who he was off the field. Now, on top of that, he also just didn't have it at the NFL level. I've also voiced some concern about Mendoza. I don't think he's that mobile. I know he's not immobile. He can roll out of the pocket and escape, but he's not. He's kind of stiff. And I'm not the highest on Mendoza. I think he'll be able to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. I just don't expect him to be anything crazy at the NFL level whatsoever. Now, at the same time, we look at the way Mendoza played, and the man absolutely went nuts. He didn't need to throw the ball that much, went 14 for 16 with 192 yards and 3 touchdowns. The man did his thing. Also rushed a couple times for 16 yards overall with 5 rushes for a quarterback, especially when they count getting sacked as rush attempts. That's always a welcomed sign. Now, at the same time, there is a lot to like about Dante Moore, who in all likelihood will be on the Jets next year. Moore had 3,280 passing yards this season with 28 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. He had a very, very good season. Had a better passer rating than none other than Mendoza. Again, there is a lot to like about Dante Moore, and there's a lot I like about Dante Moore. I do expect Moore to be this Jets pick, which is why I'm titling it It's Official, because I don't see a world where Moore is not the next quarterback of the New York Jets' future. Now, he has played 2 games in the playoffs thus far. He's looked great. I mean, especially against James Madison. Threw for 313 yards, 4 touchdowns. Yeah, he threw 2 interceptions. He's got to clean up the turnovers a little bit. But overall, I do like Moore a whole lot. I do like the Jets' chances with Dante Moore. And also, just for a little extra, obviously the Jets do have 2 picks. The other one I love as well, as it gets them more of a pass rush with Keldrick Falk from Auburn, as mentioned by PFF. The Jets need help at all 3 levels of their defense. The highest remaining player on the PFF big board in this scenario is Keldrick Falk, an outstanding run defender who could stand to add some polish as a pass rusher. He did show his pass rush potential in 2024 with 45 pressures and 9 sacks, so the Jets would be wise to inspect what unlocked that production to develop him into a well-rounded player. The Jets need more pass rush for sure. I absolutely love this move. Guys, how would you feel if these were the Jets' 2 picks in the 2026 NFL Draft? Positive, negative, or is it just negative because you had to hear me talk about it? Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a wonderful day, and go Jets, baby. I was gonna hit stop recording. I wasn't gonna stop recording.